Hey, 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 hey. Camouflaged in the reds and the oranges and the yellows. Mount Kinabalu. Haha, it's in Borneo. And I wouldn't have maybe remembered that had I not been wearing the shirt. Tonight's presentation is about visual props. Ooh, nothing in my hand. And the fact that I'm a magician. In training. Now, I don't usually use visual props, but as we do here at our at Toastmasters, is we work on different aspects of public speaking to improve them. So because I don't use visual props tonight, I'm going to challenge myself and use visual props. For example, said T-shirt. Now this is from Mount Kinabalu. It's in Borneo. Now the shirt, looks pretty, looks, like fancy design and stuff, and it's some like high-end resort. Yeah, so visual props can be deceiving. Mount Kinabalu is anything but luxury of, of any kind. We're talking Borneo. I wrote a post once called the snake. No, pardon me, there's a python on my porch. Now, see, if I had brought a python or a porch in Borneo, that, for visual props, that would be something. Of course, I might die. But besides that, the visual prop would tell a story in itself. Whereas the shirt, at least I remember the name of the place. I wouldn't have been able to remember the name of the place had I not had the physical prop. And I probably couldn't even told you Kinabalu, Mount Kinabalu, what that name was, because all the names in Borneo sounded kind of like that. Where were we yesterday? I don't know. It was Habalulu something or other. I can't remember. But now that I have the visual prop, I remember it. So it triggers something in our memory because we have the visual prop, and it helps us remember. How many people say, I'd like to write a book someday? Let me make it even broader. How many people have ever heard someone say in their lifetime, I would like to write a book one day? And then keep your hands up if that person or you have not done it. Okay, my hand goes down. I've written a few. The difference came this year when I, together with my nieces, wrote two short books. Now, I could tell you all this, and it sounds all great. Oh, that's so cute. You wrote books with your nieces. That must have been, fun and enlightening and improved your relationship. And you learned quite a bit about your nieces that you never would have known. And I could tell you all that stuff, and you would say, oh, that's so nice. And oh, I might do that someday. Oh, what a great idea, Bradley. Can I join your program? And I would say, yes, you could. But it's still sort of this vague memory. And if I do a good job with my words, I can ideally form a picture in your mind of what we're talking about. However, if I bring visual props to the situation, then I can show you instead of telling what we're talking about. Now, these are the actual books that my nieces wrote. They're 17 years old. They just turned 18. 17 years old, and they wrote these books. Remember those hands up with how many people have written a book? How many people wrote a book when you were 17? I don't qualify for that one either. Exhibit A. The book finished by a 17-year-old girl. Now, because we're talking visual props, let me show you how real this is. There's a cover. There's pages. There are words on the pages. It tells a story. It's not long. It's not thick. It's not a big novel, but it's something finished, and it's a visual prop that I can bring, and guess why? because it's finished. How many ideas have you had in your head? My dad was fantastic at creating fantastic ideas that he wanted to patent, except they were already patented by someone else. Because he not only didn't really start, well, there's that, he didn't finish. Maddie and Taylor finished their books. Now I have a visual prop, not some like vague description of an explanation of my imagination of what we may or may not have possibly done at some vague point in the past. No, this is visual representation of the real thing. This is a real object that we created together. Do you know what we started with? Watch, here we go. It's right here. Don't you see it? It's nothing. We started with nothing. We ended up with this thing. No thing, this thing. Nothing, something. Visual prop. Now, the visual prop in my presentation, sure, I'm showing you this thing. But think about it in your life, in your list of accomplishments of what you've done. Do you have something to show? You went on that holiday to Borneo. Do you have a photo album I could look through? Do you have any trinkets, any cheesy souvenirs that I could kind of see to kind of prove to me that you actually went there? Now, we get into the subconscious as well because I could even convince myself with the right hallucinogenics that maybe I never went to Borneo had I not had a t-shirt or a real photo. Now, I can sit here and tell you that I wrote a book together with my nieces, but now I can show you. What is this magic of showing? The visual prop. Now, see, for me, this was a fantastic exercise because I needed I needed to have a visual prop in my presentation, and I'm not used to that. I don't usually have any visual props, but it brings it to life. It brings it home. It makes it real. And that's what I wanted to get across to you today. As digital as a guy as I am, I read on an e-reader. I prefer, actually, an e-reader because I can flip the pages like this. And I make the font big. And I can highlight. And I can share a paragraph. Okay. But this thing is real. What can we make real from our ideas and thoughts? What can we turn nothing into something? Thank you very much. Good night.